Let's go into it. Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Hashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Hashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. So all that we say and do is going to be by Hashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. In the name of the Lord and Savior, giving thanks always to the Most High for everything, for He's worthy to be praised for everything. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yes. Okay, so let's look at I'm going to look at something in, as I told you, it's concerning what works, you know, what's really touched, what really, I'm going to show you something that touched the most. Let's go to 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha, the 7th chapter. I'm going to start at verse 48. Say, O thou Adam, going all the way back to the beginning, what hast thou done? For though it was thou, it was you, Adam, that sinned. So how did Adam sin? What did he do? What is sin? 1 John 3 and 4. He said it was thou that sinned. 1 John 3 and 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. So that means that Adam had the law. That's what it said, O thou Adam, what hast thou done? For though it was thou, it was you that sinned, that broke the laws of the Most High. Thou art not fallen alone. So you ain't failed by yourself. But we all that come of thee. See, we all are fallen behind what Adam did. That's why nobody's living a day. One day. Nobody's living one day. Nobody ever lived a day in the eyes of the Most High. That's why 2 Peter 3 and 8 says what? But beloved. Who's the beloved? Real quick, Romans 9:13. But beloved, who's he talking to? Romans 9:13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved. So Jacob, the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, he said, but beloved, in 2 Peter 3 and 8, but beloved, but Israelites, be not ignorant, don't not know this fact of this one thing, that one day is with the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. So nobody's lived a day in the eyes of the Most High. That's 1,000 years. That's one day. Think about it. He said we're going to live forever, so one day is 1,000 years. 1,000 years you lived a day in the kingdom. 1,000 years you have lived a day. Unbelievable. Man, that's what we're working for and working toward, to live that one day, and another day, and another day, and another day. Woo. So, continuing, it says, verse 49, for what profit is it unto us if there be promised us an immortal time, that's to live forever, immortality, whereas we have done the works that bring death? Now look at this. You got to hear this clearly, because what did he say? We. This a man that is a righteous man, just like Job was. He said, whereas we have done the works that bring death. So now, it says, verse 50, and that there is promised us, the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, an everlasting hope. There's promised us an everlasting hope, whereas ourselves, including himself as a righteous person, being most wicked, was made vain. You see? Stay with me now. And that there are laid up for us, the 12 tribes of Israel, dwellings of health and safety. That's the kingdom. That's promised to us. Everlasting life. Whereas we, including himself, have lived wickedly. Because he just said, as 2/3 have lived wickedly, because 1/3 are going to make it. The remnant, the elect, you know, the election, the sanctified, the glorified, many ways that the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel are identified. So whereas we have lived wickedly, and that the glory of the Most High is kept to defend them which have led a weary life, right? The glory of the Most High is kept to defend them which have led a weary life, whereas we, including himself, have walked in the most wicked ways of all, including himself. See, he don't walk in the way wicked, just like everybody else, walking in wicked. He walking in wicked. He's not exalting himself. He ain't saying nothing that right here that you can see that he's involved in what it is that is promised to Israel. And that there should be showed a paradise whose fruit endure forever, wherein is security and medicine. Remember? We're going to be all right if we make it to the kingdom. Most High will. But listen to what he says. Since we, include himself as a righteous person, shall not enter into it. Hear what he said? Since we, include himself, shall not enter into it. For we have walked in unpleasant places, and that the faces of them which have used abstinence shall shine above the stars, whereas our faces shall be blacker than darkness. You see, he's not including himself in one of the, he's not making himself one of the number, as it says. For while we lived and committed iniquity, we lived and committed sins, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. That's what he said. Are y'all with me? It says, for while we, including himself as a righteous person, because why you have the book of Esdras, a righteous man. But you see what he's saying? For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. Then answered he me and said, This is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon earth shall fight. It's the battle we gotta fight. That if he be overcome, he shall suffer, as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. For this is the life whereas Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, choose thee life that thou mayest live. Nevertheless, they believed not him, nor yet the prophets after him. No, nor me, which have spoken unto them. See? That's why the Most High sent us to people and say, hey, they won't listen to you because they won't listen to me. That there should not be such heaviness in their destruction as shall be joy over them that are persuaded to salvation. And I answered then and said, I know the one that the Most High is called merciful, in that he has mercy upon them which are not yet come into the world, and that's us. And upon those also that turn to his law, that follow his laws, 613 laws to the best of your ability, the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws that we are obligated to follow. And that he is patient and long-suffering those that have sinned as his creatures, and that he is bountiful, that he is ready to give where is needed, and that he is of great mercy, for he multiplieth more and more mercies to them that are present and that are past, and also to them which are to come, which is us. For if he shall not multiply his mercies, the world would not continue with them that inherit therein. He have to have mercies, and he pardoneth. For if he did not so, of his goodness, that they which have committed iniquities, wickedness, sins against the Most High's laws might be eased of them. The 10,000th part of men should not remain living. Wow. And being judged, if he should not forgive them that are cured with his word, and put out the multitude of contentions, there should be very few left, peradventure, in an innumerable multitude. He said there should be very few left if he didn't bring forth his mercies and his long suffering, the Most High. In dealing with the way we've been brought into this world and going through all the different paths of thinking we're going through righteousness and really haven't obtained that righteousness as we should have unto this day. So, saying all that, when we go to 2nd Ezra 8 and 48, so in this also thou art marvelous before the Most High. This is how you're marvelous before the Most High. He told him, in that thou hast humbled thyself as it becometh thee. This is talking to Ezra. As we see, he put himself with all the ones that's doing iniquity. Did he put himself with those that are part of the 1/3? The scripture says, dare not make thyself one of the number. So he put himself with those that are doing wrong. He said, in this also thou art marvelous before the Most High, in that thou hast humbled thyself as it becometh thee, and hast not judged thyself worthy, to be much glorified among the righteous. You see? As I read that, you didn't see no time that he said he was righteous. Show me where he said he was righteous and what I read to you so far. It's not there. He put himself with the unrighteous. We gonna suffer, for doing what we done. And that's what works. What it says in 38, it says, in this also thou art marvelous before the Most High. And that's what we want to be. We want to be marvelous before the Most High. In that thou hast humbled thyself. You have to humble you, and humility is something that really needs to be looked at, because people think they humble, but you really got to be humble before the Most High. We all have to be humble before the Most High. In this also thou art marvelous before the Most High, verse 48. And that thou hast humbled thyself as it becometh thee, and hast not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous. He heard him when he was saying that. These are the things that work. For many great miseries, and it say love and happiness and joy and beauty and anything you can think of to make you happy and joyous. It say, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. That's why he said in this, in verse 49, in that thou hast humbled thyself as it becometh thee, and hast not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous. For many great miseries shall be done to them that are in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. It's serious. So we're in the last days, so we cannot walk in great pride. We gotta humble ourselves. There's no way that I can direct what the Most High gonna do, or any of us. But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. Like he was. And he didn't call himself worthy to be called as one of the righteous. That's what works. So when I go out and I be amongst those that are in the world, I say, hey man, I know where you at. I've been there in the world. And I'm still in the world. I'm still looking at being wise as those in the world, because Mashiach Shai said those of the world are wiser than the children of the world are wiser than the children of light. How's that? Because you live a sheltered life. You live a sheltered life, but you live like a L7, a square or something. Things are happening in the world you don't even know about. Then when it happens, you're like, woo, caught off guard, because you ain't hip to what's going on. The things that's going on. The dialogue. They change it, like they call it Ebonics, they change the language up, so they talk in a certain way. What's going on? What's going on? What's the latest thing that's happening? Why people get so old and be so. That's why they say you can't put new wine in old bottles, because you still back in the Cardinal era. Some people caught in a certain era. They still in the 60s or 70s or 80s or whatever. Stuck. When these people are doing things and moving and things are happening around, you don't know. That's why would he say the children of the world are wiser than the children of light? Why would he say it? Because they in tune with what's going on around them, and we need to be in tune with what's going on around us, so that we don't become no L7, no squares. Because they out there doing things. And whatever they're doing, you're supposed to be hip to it, so at least knowing what's going on, so that you can apply what it is that you know in righteousness to overcome these things. But if you don't know, it's come right, I have to deal with it because of who I am. Who am I? Who are you? Now you can read. That's why I said misery is gonna come because of pride. That's why we gotta humble ourselves.